Hello and welcome to Jamie TV. Thank you very much for joining me. Today we're going to take a look at Nembrini Audio's live rig. Let's just have a look at the chat, see if anyone's here. Oh, we've got a few people here. That's reassuring. If you are new to the channel, then thank you very, very much for taking a chance on a stupid old hippie. If you are a regular viewer, then thank you very much for your continued support. Let me just ask in the chat, although Pete Johns says that I really should not do this, but I just have to ask if the audio is okay. I did a stream yesterday using StreamYard for the first time, and Samuel told me in the chat that the audio was a little quiet. I've boosted it up as much as I can without it clipping as far as I can see, but one thing I think is a bit of a negative about StreamYard: there is no way to sort of monitor audio peaks within the app. And one thing that was really nice about when I was streaming with the just with my iPhone using the iRig Stream was that you've got a constant monitor of what your audio level is like. But that was a much simpler setup, and I have kind of been pissy-pantsing around with a much more complex setup because I want to be able to do more in the stream. I want to be able to have different camera angles, like I can do this, and I can do this. If you want two of me, which is the audio back now? Can you hear me now? It was, I don't know. That's very, very odd. It's back. Oh, okay. Well, I think I just learnt something. Apparently I can't press that one. Okay, I won't press that one anymore. Right, well, I'm going to have to test something then. If I, right, now I'm going to remove that picture from the screen. Now, if I do this, can you still hear me? And if I do this, can you still hear me? You're a few seconds behind me, so I'll check the chat again in a moment. All right, so I've had a few issues, and I've actually spent the entire day. That's okay, is it? All right, that's awesome. I've actually spent the entire day working on this because I knew what I wanted to do, and it turned out to be an awful lot more complicated than it really ought to be. See, StreamYard has many great qualities, but it's an online streaming service, so it's not like an app. You've not got kind of like audio levels and things like that, and so you have to use software like sort of if let's say if you want to get Cubase into the audio of your stream, you have to use another app, and and send Cubase to that, and then send that into the stream, and you tell the stream that the signal that's coming in is a microphone, otherwise you can't get that sound in. And I've really struggled today, because what I wanted to do, I wanted to show you the desktop version and then show you the iPad version. Now, it's very easy to share your iPad screen to your PC. There's 1,000 apps that will do it. But what they do is they all stream the audio from the iPad via Wi-Fi to the computer. And I can't find a single one that does it via USB that does it well. And so there's a lag. And it's a terrible lag. It's a lag that I just can't work with. What I wanted to do was to bypass that. I wanted to simply use a screen sharing app to get the screen into the stream so that you can see the iPad. And if that's a little bit laggy, if that's a little bit behind, that's fine. But I wanted to be able to send the audio from my interface, from my iRig Pro Duo. That's what I use for the iPad. That would be going to my desk, and then that I would send into the stream. But I can't find a single one that allows me to do that. Now, no, Samuel, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have anything like that. And so what I'm using is Voice Meter Banana, which is kind of like a go-between in between all the audio stuff that I have to get it into StreamYard. So I may have to look at another streaming service, but it was actually Pete Johns who mentioned StreamYard, and I thought, I'm going to try that. If Pete says it's okay, then it must be okay, so I'll try it. And I have actually reached out to Pete, although he's not replied to me yet, because he's a fan of using Reflector to get the iPad screen into the stream. And I want to know how he gets the audio in there as well, without it being all sucky like mine is. So, anyway, right. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and press this, right, and then I will pick up this guitar, and we'll have a chat about this free bit of software from Nembrini Audio. What I will do is I will just in a little while I will just briefly show you the app on the iPad. I'm not going to play it because it's just because the audio is going to be terrible, so I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to show it you, and I'm going to show you why in some ways the iPad version is actually better than the desktop version. Oh, thank you very much for that, Jade. Okay, yes, we shall definitely do that. Okay, so now then, before I tell you anything else about this bit of software, I'm going to tell you what I don't like about it. It doesn't have a tuner on it. Now, I love all the Nembrini stuff. It's all absolutely fantastically high quality, but this really needs a tuner, because it's kind of a bit of a closed shop. It's not designed for using inside of Cubase or inside of a digital audio workstation. This is a free bit of software for using as a live rig. So, and you can only host your Nembrini software in it as well. So what we've got is basically, you could think of it like a pedal board. It's standalone, and as it's standalone, and you can only put Nembrini software in it, and none of the Nembrini software has a tuner on it, this needs to have a tuner on it. because otherwise you have to do what I've had to do, which is to unplug from my computer interface and plug into my iPad interface, just so that I can use the tuner in ToneStack Pro, he said, just putting it back in. Okay, right now, so you're going to have to tell me what this guitar level is like now, okay? I'm a bit frightened, I don't want to blow your ears out. Well, yeah, Notty. I mean, that would be the other answer to it, is to sort of do a free bit of tuner software. All right, Ed. So if that guitar is too high, then is it clipping, or does it in fact mean that my microphone is just way too low? Could it be that? I can take it down, no problem, of course. But I'm just thinking that maybe the correct solution is to take the microphone up. Is Cubase my desktop digital audio workstation? Yes, Gerald, it is. Yeah, it's definitely my preferred thing on desktop. I'm using 11 Pro at the moment. And I love it. I think it's fantastic. Okay, so can I get my microphone level up a bit? Let's just have a little look on here. If I do this, that should boost my microphone level. And then I can come down here and take the guitar down as well. Let's just get that balanced then. Okay, I'm hoping that's a little bit better. I shall proceed and just tell me as we go. Right, okay, so here's what we do with this app. Look at it like this. Think of it kind of like as a pedal board, right? So here is where your guitar is coming into the pedal board, and then you just set up a chain of effects and amps, and you can pissy pants around with the order of them, and you can save as many different pedal boards as you want, which is quite fantastic. So this is a rig that I set up for myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out of here. I'm going to go up to File, and I'm going to save that one because I made a couple of changes to it, and then I'm going to go New. Right, so now I've got an empty board. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to set up a simple little chain of effects. I don't need to fill every square, although I do like a nice big pedal board. So let's just set up a nice little bluesy guitar sound. So we'll use Soundmaster. Now I'm going to have lots of free spaces, so I'm just going to stick Soundmaster somewhere over here. So we'll go down and find sound. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Okay, so you go to whichever spot on your board that you want to put your software. You double click it, and then you go down the list of software from Nembrini. Now you'll see here some of this software I have, and if I don't have it, if I don't own it, then in yellow next to it, it's telling me where I can go to get the software, which is all good and fair enough. So we'll go down here and click on Soundmaster, which I do have. Then let's go into Sound Master and get a sound. I want a nice clean sound, so I'm going to bring the input way down low here. And I want to be on channel A. It is on channel A, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay. Now, the way that I get a nice clean sound in Sound Master is I bring the input way down low, then I bring the volume back up here. Right, and I want it to be nice and bright, so we'll get rid of a bit of bass. Do this. Okay, and I'm going to just stick with that for now, and then I want some reverb. Right, so sorry, I'm just reading the chat. Yes, Jade, it does tell you what you already have and what you don't have, but this is terribly confusing for me because on the iPad I have almost every Nembrini app. I think there's 2 that I don't have. On the PC I have less of them, so when I'm looking down the list on the computer, I keep going for ones that I don't have, and then it keeps taking me to the website to buy it, which, you know, it's not really a bad plan, Nembrini. I'm going to stick a reverb over here. Now, here's where a limitation comes in of this situation. You can't use software by anyone else, and on the computer you can't use it inside of any other software. You can't like use Live Rig inside of Cubase, so that you could maybe put it in a chain, use Live Rig plus a reverb by Eventide or something like that. You can't do that. There is, actually, I really should tell you this, there is another similar bit of software on the desktop from Nembrini, and it is called Plugin Rig Host, and that is the one for using inside of digital audio workstations. Very similar thing, but it's not free. It's also not very expensive, actually. It's just over a tenner. Let's just say hello to a few people in the chat. I kind of was, I wouldn't say flustered, but just a bit like spent all day trying to get this right, and it's not quite right, and I'm a bit disappointed. So, yeah. So maybe I'm not feeling my most confident, I guess. So hi Colin, and hi Notty, hi Ed, Fam, Jade, and Gerald, and Samuel, Stephen, I think that's everyone. I think I said Ed. So thank you ever so much, everyone, for joining me. So I shall attempt to get my head around this and make a decent stream out of it. Okay, so yeah, there is only one reverb from Nembrini, right? So, I mean, a couple of the amps have reverb built in, but you know, this amp doesn't have reverb built in, so I need to use a reverb. And so the only one that I can use is one made by Nembrini, and it's one of the free bits of software, and it's quite limited. It does sound nice, but it doesn't do a huge amount. Let's just get a nice, so we can have hall or room. Let's switch it over to room. bring up the size a little bit. Maybe drop it back in the mix a little and make it a little brighter. Yeah, okay, so that sounds pretty nice. And then what we'll do is we'll add one of my favorite things by Nembrini, which is another free thing, which is the clone MINOTAUR, which I think is a really accurate emulation of the clone pedal, which is a very popular old pedal that's had many physical copies made. Right, so this is what I would use if I wanted to go from my clean amp sound to then dirty it up a little bit. All right, so I've got myself a drive pedal, I've got a nice amp sound, I've got a reverb, and let's just add in something else. We'll add in I guess we'll add a delay in, which I think is blue. There we go. Delay. The delay is again one of the free ones, and it's not the most complicated delay ever, but it is pretty nice. All these analog rack apps or plugins or whatever have this little switch down here to give them a more analog sound. So when you switch it off, you get a cleaner, more digital kind of a sound, and the analog switch warms it up a little bit. I'm going to sync this, which will enable me to show you. So basically you can use this delay. If you've got the sync off, you can set the delay time like this. But if you sync it, you can get it to play to a tempo that you can actually set in Live Rig. Alright, bring it down in the mix a bit. Actually, no, I won't. That won't help my demonstration. Right, okay, and I'm going to add more feedbacks. Excuse me, for demonstration purposes. Right, now, if I go into options and go into preferences, you can set a tempo. So if I type in 200 beats per minute, now, right, the delay goes all quick like. And if I drop it back to 80, let's do 80. Let's see. Hey Joe, thanks for joining us. Yeah, Colin. I think that's right. I think what Nembrini have done is they've provided us with a free bit of software. I'm just going to put this back to 120 for now. They've provided us with a free bit of software that you can host just their stuff in. You can't use it in a digital audio workstation, but it would be excellent for live. in the case of this PC version, this Windows version maybe I should say, this is ideal for someone who maybe wants to gig using a laptop instead of using an amp, which is a very, very viable thing to do now. And yeah, it's a bit limited what you can do with it, but it's free. And then there is the other version, the version that is called the plug-in rig host, that you can use inside of a digital audio workstation. And in fact, if I can just get my mouse on the right computer screen, I can tell you that it is only $11.70 currently, down from, I think that says $39. I think that says $39, but the score through the middle of it kind of obscures, really obscures what the price was. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what it's about. All right. Okay, so now I've built up a small little rig. I'm just going to alter that delay because I don't want it like that. Just going to bring that down a bit. That's still a bit much for me. That's a bit better. Okay. Right, so I've made a little rig. And I can save this rig. I can go up here and name it and save it inside my computer. And I can do that as many times as I want. Obviously, I can set up a whole load of different presets. So if I was gigging, I could call up a different amp, a different chain of effects for every song, you know, which I would do while the singer's wobbling on and on about himself, as they tend to do. And I do hope none of the singers I work with are watching. Okay, so what else can we do? We can... Actually, I don't need to use that because all the functions in Edit here can actually be done on screen. I don't need to show you that. In Options, you can go in here to change things like your latency, your input and output channels, sample rates, and you can pissy pants around with the sample rate just to get a nice, with the buffer size to get yourself a nice latency setting, that, you know, a nice compromise between crackles and playing behind time. Okay, so what else can we do with this? All right, so we've got an input level and output level, so it gives you a nice little meter of how much input you're putting into the board at the front end over here. And I just realized I can point at things nicely with my mouse doing this way. Okay, and I will get used to this, I will. And of course we've got the output level, which you've already seen me messing with. And then we've got, when we select one of the items on our board, right? So if I select this, I can press show down here and it will reveal that particular pedal, or I can double click on it to do that. But maybe if you're playing live and using your laptop, this method might be easier. Now if I press on show all, it'll make them all pop out like that, which is pretty cool. I don't know why I'd need it, but it's pretty cool. And we can copy one of the effects and then paste it in, and obviously we can delete it, and we can select a pedal and then bypass it with this button here, or activate it, depending whether it's switched on or not. How would you amplify yourself, Stephen? What do you mean, Ed? Let's say they don't have a mixing board. Are you talking about the possibilities of using something like this, like software, instead of a real live amp? Yeah, well, it's something I've been considering quite seriously. One of the bands that I work with, I think it would be ideal if we invested a little bit more money in PA. They've got a nice PA. It could do with being a little bit bigger, and we could, because we've got one of those mixing desks that's it's not a desk. It's the, what they call it, the I'll tell you, because the software's on here, right? The XR thing, right? So you just have like a little stage box. You plug everything into it, and I mix the sound with my iPad. We could get rid of our monitor speakers, and we could all have in-ear monitoring. And what I would do, if we had that bit better PA, we could just not take our backline, and we could just use iPads or iPhones. You could use a laptop, all the same, you know. And what I would do personally is I'd take two basses, right? Because I always take a backup, because you'd have to be a bit of a moron to go to a gig without a spare. I did it once, and that was the time that my bass broke down. The input just fell apart inside, and it was very embarrassing. So yes, I was that moron. So I'd need two basses, a lead, a spare lead, my iRig Pro Duo, which I would probably attach to the mic stand in some way. I'd be plugged into that, and that would go into my iPad, which would have the I would probably use Nembrini's BLACKICE Beta Gamma, a couple of effects. I might have one of those little blue board things so that I could switch effects on and off without touching the screen, and then the outputs from my iRig Pro Duo would go to the mixing desk and be made nice and loud. I think that's see you later, Nutty. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I think that could work. Okay, so there's not an awful lot more to show you with this live rig. You know, I mean, I think it's for those live situations, or just for practicing guitar at home. I think it's fantastic. It seems wrong to criticize it in any way when it's free, but it really does need that tuner on it. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this guitar down for a moment. Don't fall down, you. Right, now, if I stop sharing this screen here, bear with the stupid head, hippie while he gets his head around the new streaming thing. Right, so if I remove that from there, and then I can go to share, open that over there, I can go there, and I can share this here, and I'll show you what I mean. Right, okay, so this is the plugin rig host, right? This is the other similar thing you can get from Nembrini, which isn't free, but you can use these. You can use this to load your chain of effects into your DAW, and it comes with, well, it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plugins included. So that's the other option anyway. Right, now stop sharing this screen, and there's me all big again, and I'll see if I can show you without too much of a calamity what happens with the iPad, right? So I'm gonna take this out of here and plug into my iRig Pro Duo, and then I need the app there, and then I have to go to my iPad, press screen mirror, which of course it now doesn't want to do. It's got the face on with me. Alright, maybe there's a way around that. Let's see if I press this and go here. Well, it gets worse. Okay. Maybe I can use a different app, because I've tried about 12,000 of them today, and they were all shite. Or maybe I'm just a stupid hippie and I just couldn't get it working. Okay. Let's try this one. We'll try AnyDesk, which doesn't look good on screen, but it does seem to work. Right? Yes. Connect. Connection is in progress. Accept connection. Begin broadcast. Exciting. Okay. I'll come out of there. Go to AUM. There. Right, now. All I need to do now is share that to the stream. There. Okay, right, so AnyDesk doesn't look fabulous on screen. I think this is an app that's really designed more for sort of corporate use, really, than stupid hippies streaming about guitar software. But this one works, and the other one that kind of worked well isn't working now, so we're stuck with this. So it looks kind of pants on screen, but you can see AUM in there, so please forgive me that. Now, if I just go, I'll just show you. I'm going to regret this. Right, okay, so you can see I've got no, Colin is not. As of yet, plugin rig host is not on iOS. And it would be nice to have it, I think. I think it would be nice in AUM. I like the idea that if you had it in AUM and you could open it as an AUV3 maybe, and you could sort of set up a chain of Nembrini effects in it, but you could also add effects by other companies in it. You know, that would be nice. I think that could be fortuitous. Okay, so as you can see, I've been using my tuner in ToneStack Pro, and here is Live Rig. Now, I'm getting absolutely no audio whatsoever from this stream. This stream from my iPad to, right, it's not the apps. That just doesn't make any sense to me at all. Because I did earlier. I don't know. But anyway, what I'll do, I can't get any audio. All I was going to do really was just show you how bad the audio is when you mirror your screen to the computer, or how bad it has been for me anyway. But, oh, hey, Dave. Thanks for joining us, dude. Hope you're well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you on the screen why Live Rig is better on iOS than it is on the desktop, and you can probably see right away. So here is my guitar coming into AUM, and here's ToneStack Pro, because I need that for a tuner. Actually, let me just grab my other mouse and then I can do this. Yeah. Right, so ToneStack Pro for a tuner. I've got nothing else going on in there, but you know, I could add more effects in here. Right, and then I've got Live Rig. So there I've got my whatever Nembrini apps I want to have. Unfortunately, as it is Interrupt Audio, it's not AUV3. To go back to AUM, there's no little button or anything. I have to press the home button and then do that. And so then, of course, I could come down here and I could add more effects. I could add a reverb that's not the Nembrini one. I could add whatever I want. So in a sense, I think this actually works better and has more possibilities on iOS. And I think that's probably about me done, since I'm not going to be able to play anything on the iPad. I actually had some stuff planned to play along to, and I was going to dazzle and impress you, but I've just not been able to get things moving on the iPad. So I wonder, is there a right settings up here, audio, and yes, right, specify device. Can I send that to I think it's that one. Yeah, no, it's not that one, is it? I just don't understand why it's not working. But anyway, that's something for me to have a pissy pants around with, and maybe I'll get it sorted out and I'll show you in another screen, in another stream. It's all gone pear-shaped. Okay, back to just me. So anyway, I wish that had been a more successful stream. Yeah, I've shown you the software and what it's all about, but it could have been a little bit more exciting and a bit more fluid, and a whole lot less things could have gone wrong. But I guess I'm learning this new way of streaming, this new software live in front of you. So thank you very, very much for actually joining me and bearing with me. I will go and get some coffee and have a fag now, and then hopefully I will see you all in Doug's stream. So thanks very much for being here. Really appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. Keep making lots of music. And if I don't see you in a stream before, have a fantastic Christmas. And don't piss your pants about. See you later.